And here we go. Okay, 60 seconds on the clock in the No Name Movie Game. Your time begins now.
Creatures go to school here. If you're a creature and you go to a college, it would be what? Like a Frankenstein?
Monsters, Inc.?
No! The college. Think of the college. Pass. I stole this. I steal this at Christmas time.
Grinch?
Yes.
The Grinch that stole Christmas.
Yeah, you got it. Reptilian, you're not supposed to kiss, and not. And you also have a crown on your head. Crown on your head. You can't kiss that amphibian, that reptile. A pass. Pass. Loves the bear that puts the nose in the honey. Loves the bear.
Pooh Bear.
No, the adult guy. What's his name?
Winnie the Pooh.
No, the adult.
Christopher.
Yes.
Christopher Robin.
Yes.
Yay!
Superhero who's got the color of a booger that flies around like a.
Green Lantern.
No, the other one. Damn it.
Broadcasting from the offleaseonly.com studios. Don't pay more. Save thousands on low mileage 2016 through 19 cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. Offleaseonly.com. This is 97.9 WRMF, Palm Beach.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast. So don't get her pissed. It's Jason talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Yeah, what's up? Happy Monday. Welcome back to the KVJ show. How y'all doing today? Yeah. Here we are.
Happy Monday.
Hello.
Finally feel better from Friday.
Oh, you do, huh? The cocktail hour just turned into cocktail hours.
Yeah, I was pretty hungover on Saturday. I did not feel good. I started. Someone recommended drinking Jack Daniels. I want to try a different whiskey, and I don't know, y'all. That did not hit me in the right way.
Yeah, that's kind of that's a real man's whiskey there.
And you're no real man.
Yeah.
Oh, clearly.
I
Yeah.
see you drinking wine coolers.
I think you're right. I think that's more my speed. Oh, man. I have a half a bottle of JD if anyone wants it.
Seltzer, those hard seltzers, they're so hot right now. That's totally you.
Ugh.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting cocktails that are out there. Jaber went for an old staple and apparently bit him in the butt.
It did. And
Yeah.
the face, I think.
Yeah. You said you had a nice hangover remedy, though, the next day. I guess, mother's a necessity of an invention there.
Yeah.
Necessity's a mother of invention. You dialed up something pretty good, huh?
This is a great hangover food. Get one of those Hawaiian buns you love, Virginia, that you always make your grilled cheese on.
Yes, the sweet Hawaiian rolls.
Spread some strawberry jam on that baby. Put a creamier type of cheese, like a even like a Swiss would be good, or a brie, and then put hash browns in there. Oh, baby, I instantly felt better.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
I'm here to help.
There you go. So something good's come out of this. All the little silver linings of the coronavirus. I guess some people are kind of excited. We're actually one silver lining. We're going to stay on until 11 today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. I don't even know. I know today we're going to stay on until 11 o'clock. So there you go, because I know people are waking up a little bit later. So you got a little bonus KVJ coming your way. And lots of stuff on Facebook. If you missed the cocktail hour, that's still posted up on Facebook. You can see that, plus lots of other stuff that we got going on up there on Facebook.
It hasn't been taken down yet?
Yeah, no. Okay. They kept it up there. It's still good. And then you and Dennys had your video game on Friday night?
We did.
Okay.
That's what was going to be on my mind.
Okay.
But
All right.
if you want to reveal now.
No, I just want to let people know. Is it up on YouTube right now?
It is up on YouTube. Well, I guess we'll reveal right now. 'Cause
It is, okay.
He's in here.
Yeah.
He lost to me.
What?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. It's an upset.
What game was it again?
No, rematch of the baseball.
Baseball, okay.
So I got to rock the tiger face all week. I got my face painted like a tiger.
It looks good.
Well, thanks. I got up early for this one.
Can you roar for us, Kitty?
Yeah. It's very intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. So that is up there. You can see that contest as it went down, the big upset. That's pretty. Did you do that yourself, or you like Kiss? Do you do your own face paint?
Yeah, I did it myself this morning.
Wow.
Big shout out to his wife. It was her idea for the punishment because me and him were drinking before, and we
Yeah.
were coming up with some really stupid, crazy, dumb punishments.
Over the top.
Yeah, she's like, why don't you guys just do a tiger face? It's so topical. Tiger King.
Yeah.
Look at boom.
Look at you. That's a good look.
I actually like it. Yeah, it hides a lot of my blemishes.
Honestly, you look like you're 7.
I know, like I'm gonna
I
get a
don't know what it
balloon.
is, but it really brings out your youth.
He's a tiger cub.
Yeah, it's hard to look older when you got your face painted like a tiger.
You know what? Just say that. No, there's going to be a lot of ladies in tiger makeup today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it takes 20 years off. All right. Well, if you like to see what's going on, everything that we're doing is up on KVJ TV. It's easy to go to YouTube and dial it up on your flat screen TVs, your mobile devices, wherever, and check us out.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in just a second, I will tell you about that One World Together at Home virtual concert. Just how much did it raise for the coronavirus pandemic relief fund? We'll tell you coming up in a sec. Before we get into that, this is kind of cool. Today, in case you didn't realize, is 420. And Willie Nelson has a little wish for all of us.
In case you didn't realize. You think that's going to escape anybody in this room?
Well, happy 420 out there, y'all. Y'all have a hit for me and pass it on.
All right.
Thanks, Willie Nelson. Netflix's Tiger King is such a popular television series. And now it looks like Joe's rival, Joe Exotic's rival, Carol Baskin, has filmed her own series of videos and responses to what she says is erroneous reporting from the original Tiger King series. She gets into much more details, and it's a series of videos that she has filmed. So Carol Baskin responds.
I don't know, y'all. I think she did it. If you talk to the guy's family,
Yeah, I mean, everybody in his family, including the ex-wife, like everybody is like, yeah, Carol killed him.
shady stuff was going on right around his
Shady stuff. And I mean, at the core of it, Carol Baskin hates the fact that Joe Exotic keeps tigers in cages, so she keeps tigers in cages. Like, it's ridiculous. You can't believe anything she says. She's the same as him.
That big cat game, I tell you.
Yeah, it's crazy. And finally here, One World Together at Home, the virtual concert happened Saturday night and helped raise over $127 million for healthcare workers. It was organized by Global Citizen and the World Health Organization. And I believe we have some clips for you from some of the performances. How about a little Taylor Swift?
Okay. This is Soon You'll Get Better.
That was a song I guess she originally did for her mother. It's all about her mother's cancer battle, and she rarely performs it, I guess, because it gets her so upset and when she thinks about her mama. So very sweet.
Okay.
And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
Listen to the KVJ Show anytime you want on your home speaker. Just use the voice command, play the KVJ Show podcast. 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
Well, Jaber, I know a big part of what was on your mind was your big victory over producer Dennys and video game baseball on Friday night. He's wearing tiger makeup because of that. Do you have anything else that you'd like to discuss here today?
So I saw people on social media talking about it, and then I saw an article today on one of our prep sites. Quarantine constipation's a thing.
Yeah, it is.
And it's because people's schedules are all screwed up right now.
Yeah.
They're sleeping different. They're not exercising as much. They're not
Yeah.
drinking as much water. Your whole system is screwed up because people were complaining about it. I'm like, that's kind of gross and weird. But sure as crap, yes, people are suffering from that.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, and that makes sense because
does.
everything is really screwed up. Is your sleep cycle screwed up right now, or are you kind of keeping the same schedule?
I'm keeping the same schedule, exactly, and I'm pooing at the exact same times. Yeah, I'm a regimented individual where everything in my day is pretty much always done according to a plan, and you'll notice when you get everything lined up, you pretty much I can set my watch by my pooper.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, our schedule really hasn't changed that much. Only the fact that we just don't do public events right now. But think about it. We're getting up at the same time. And in fact, we're adding on to the show.
Yeah.
So our systems probably aren't going to be jacked up. That's why when I saw that, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I am adjusting my schedule today, so I have to see. Maybe my pooper will be thrown out of whack by this extra hour. If it is, it's all because we're just here. It's the sacrifices we make. I'm going to gain some constipation.
Well, these are those sideline stories that I don't think anyone really wants to hear about, but I saw it, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What you got in your mind today, Virginia?
Well, I am struggling with Rocco and getting him to eat more. It is really a difficult thing. I'll make him his own special meals now, even from what the rest of the family is eating, and he is just so finicky and picky. All he wants to eat is crap. He doesn't want to sit with the family. I mean, he would hit me before he would eat any vegetables. I am really, really struggling.
And that's part of that article I read. Junk food and all that stuff is causing constipation.
I can look at him and I know he is not getting the nourishment he needs. He's super skinny and he just fights me on everything about eating. It is such a struggle these days.
Even on his favorite dishes. Does he have a favorite dish?
He loves pizza.
Would he eat pizza?
Yes. So I got pizza for him, and then that lasts a couple of days. But then as soon as the pizza is out, that's it. The only other thing he'll eat is pasta. He won't even eat chicken nuggets anymore. He used to eat chicken nuggets. Now he turns those down. I am just struggling over here.
What about peanut butter and jelly? I'd love to make a menu Rocco, or a Rocco menu, a menu Rocco, a Rocco for menu. I got a bunch of ideas, and I think
Rocco for menu?
I want to make a menu for Rocco.
Yes.
I think I can make some good food for him.
Yeah, I'll take all the suggestions you got because I am struggling.
Well, and the one thing that you've been dealing with behavioral stuff, isn't that something where you've been hearing a lot, and a lot of people have been saying that we've nailed it down to even a certain food dye, things like that.
Yes, it's all connected.
Yeah. And
so when I cut out all the crap, we're not left with very much.
Yeah, so this is kind of your problem and why you got to watch.
Yes.
Because if that ain't going right, then everything's going to be crazy. Yeah. I think everybody got their own little struggle going on. I was doing some binge watching, trying to figure out what I was going to eat or watch on TV. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in this kind of situation, because like right now, I'm working my way through Curb Your Enthusiasm, which, you know, is a good show. I just wrapped up the second season of it yesterday, and there's 10 seasons total, so I still got a long ways to go on it. And my wife's like, oh, I think you should watch Mad Men or Shameless or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking about those shows, and I'm sure they're fine, but I kind of felt like I need to ride out Curb Your Enthusiasm and then jump onto something else because it's just too chaotic. But then I was sitting there yesterday and I got through one episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Have you ever noticed like some shows, they're just not real bingeable? And I don't know what it was. I watched one episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I could sit there and do episode after episode.
You know why?
Of this show.
Because you need some type of drama to get you hooked on
Yeah.
going. The shows your wife's talking about, like your Mad Men, there's a good element of drama and big cliffhangers that make you want to tune in, and that's probably what it is.
Yeah, because it's almost like a Curb Your Enthusiasm is a show that you can reset. There's not too much of an ongoing plot line thread. There is a little bit, but not enough that it's like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. Because it's usually a new problem is brought up by whatever's going on each episode. And maybe that's part of it. I've noticed the shows that I binge watched, there's one thing after another that keeps driving you.
Everyone keeps talking about Shameless. They talk about it in the chat room every time we start talking about TV. I see it on social media all the time. And there's a lot of episodes on Shameless.
Yeah, there is. There's, I think, 10 seasons of that is on Netflix. So I jumped on that and I watched just the pilot yesterday. I get it. It's kind of good. I mean, the only thing is My wife's watched the whole thing. Everybody in my family has. And she said, you just have to, there is a ton of dysfunction in it. And sometimes people are like, okay, I can't handle like how messed up their life is. It's so dysfunctional. So if you find the dysfunction funny, I think you'll like Shameless, or at least that's what I've been told. And if you're disrupted by dysfunction, then you're not going to like it.
I was watching wedding fails on YouTube over the weekend. Man, those
are pretty good.
If you're looking for something fun to watch, because they're taking a picture, everyone's on this little dock thingy. They're taking all the big pictures. Everybody in the wedding party fell into the lake. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I watched that Operation Odessa you were talking about, Kev.
You did? Okay, what'd you think?
I loved it. It was good.
It's a fascinating little story, isn't it?
Yes, very intriguing.
Yeah, I thought so too. I think you might have to like that genre, which is South Florida, cocaine, cartels and mafia and things like that. But if you have found like you like the shows like the documentaries like Cocaine Cowboys, if it says like people also would like, I can't imagine if you like Cocaine Cowboys 1 and 2 that you wouldn't love Operation Odessa.
It's fascinating, I think, because it's real. And you're like, wow, this really went down.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Me too.
Because you're just watching that story. Could you imagine being in that and that's actually you living where every day these guys, they wake up and they don't know if this is a day I'm getting black. I'm either going to prison for a long time or I'm dying today.
Just the level of cash and spending. It was like, whoa.
It's insane.
Insane.
I saw a really good TikTok video over the weekend. It's like on when your dad is in the cartel and you can't find TP and if somebody's sitting on the toilet wiping with $100 bills, they had a stack of them. That's like, yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, other things people were watching. I had a lot of people asking me about Ozark. And I know, for instance, like Megan said that she's watching that. I'll tell people I thought season 1 was great. Season 2, ride that one out because I was tweeting with somebody and they're like, I'm on 2. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm like, stick with 2 to get through to 3. And then 3, I think, rebounds.
I was so close to pulling the trigger on Ozark, and I watched a Bruce Willis movie instead called Death Wish. Should have watched Ozark.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's good. And then the one I'm excited to get to, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to tear at it episode by episode or wait and binge it, and that is the Michael Jordan special that came out on ESPN last night.
I watched that with Panda.
Okay, what did you think, Virginia?
I'm not a big basketball person. You know that.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
It's called The Last Dance. And here's the question that I have, because I was reading an article on it. And if you followed the career of Michael Jordan, even, just last week, we were talking and Michael Jordan's name came up and somebody who used to be a ball boy for the New York Knicks said that Michael Jordan was, not very nice to people who were beneath him. Somebody else texted into us and said that Michael Jordan stiffed him on a tip, and when the manager asked Jordan about it, he's like going, look, her tip is she just waited on the Michael Jordan, and, those kind of like stories. I go, okay, wow, that's true. But there's a lot of things in Michael Jordan's life that could be fascinating if they really delve into it and tell the truth. Now, his company, I think, is responsible for this production. So that's the question, is how honest are you going to get? And I don't know where they wound up, but this is not spoiling the documentary. This is just the questions that people are asking. Because Michael Jordan won 6 NBA championships, regarded as possibly the best NBA player of all time. But mysteriously, in the middle, he won 3 championships. Then he decided to go play minor league baseball for like 2 seasons. And then he came back and won 3 more championships. So you're like going, what was that whole thing in the middle of all that? You could have had 8 NBA championships. Like, I don't understand exactly why. He is a notorious gambler. He would gamble on apparently everything. And then his father was murdered in 1993. And so people are asking, did he get suspended by the NBA for 2 seasons because of his gambling? And was his father killed because of some of the gambling that he was caught up in? And some of the people he hung with, because there's a couple sketchy characters on the sidelines that apparently he used to associate with.
Being a huge baseball fan and a baseball card collector, when he went to go do baseball, there was an upper deck baseball card of Michael Jordan. It's right here. And every kid was just trying to get that thing. It's $600 right now on eBay.
Wow.
for that baseball card. But that was such a big deal as a kid. I remember all that.
Yeah, and he was just kind of a mediocre player. I don't think he
He
got
was
past
not
double A.
very good. But for a guy who hadn't picked up a baseball bat,
Sure, yeah.
You know.
I know that part's impressive, but why?
yeah, it was weird.
Why would you do that? Everybody's like scratching their heads back in the day. And so, people were wondering if that's going to be addressed in this documentary. He used to really hang out. Apparently, there were some wild excursions with Tiger Woods and Charles Barkley that used to go down. Will you get any kind of honesty on what was going on with that? Because I think they had some times in Vegas that it would be the kind of stuff that'd be like, wow, if they really showed that and pulled the curtain back on what they were doing, that would be amazing to see.
I would love to see that with a lot of those athletes, what the real story was behind the scenes.
Yeah, what the perks were like and the kind of places they were set up and what it was like being that crew. I mean, we knew a little bit about Tiger Woods and how many chicks he was rolling through. There's infidelity going on with the Michael Jordan story, too, and his divorce from his wife.
The one story I would really love, you've heard some of the stories, but I'd love to get them all, was the 1986 Mets. You know that there's so many more stories that they have not come out about that team.
Sure. So on the Jordan thing, Virginia, did it seem like they were going gritty and they were going to be answering tough questions, or does it seem like a fluff piece in basically just exemplifying the glory of what was Michael Jordan's playing career?
Well, I think it was just what I saw was part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
And these were focused more on the earlier years. So I don't think, it's a lot of older footage. You saw a lot of college stuff of him. You saw like early stuff of him. I don't know if you're into the stuff that you're talking about yet.
Yeah. Well,
This is like early stuff that I was seeing.
yeah.
But it was fascinating. They had a lot of old footage, and it's just so interesting to see.
I just wonder if they're going to be honest with it and if they'll shed any more light on the story. Somebody texted and said, "Old news, bruh. Welcome to the club." Yeah, I understand that that's out there, but that's the question. Are the rumors going to be addressed, and will they maybe fill in? Will he admit to all the rumors that are out there, and will they shed any light on exactly? Because sometimes it's not just knowing, maybe his dad was killed because of his gambling stuff. It's like, what are the details, the intricate details that happen around that?
Old news, bruh.
Old news, bruh.
You do see clips of current day Jordan, like in his like beautiful home. The backdrop is gorgeous. It just looks really, really nice. But it's him commenting on, the older stuff. I think part 1 and part 2 are both like the early years.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was a tone that was there that might give you an idea if it sounds like they would really go deep and say some things that may not be flattering of Michael Jordan, or if at the end of this it's going to do nothing but just kind of exemplify how great he is. And a lot of people in the chat room are saying Jordan is a brand. He's a part of this whole thing. There's no way that they'll get too grimy. The article I read was trying to make it sound like we asked Michael Jordan pressing questions. He didn't once tell us this couldn't be in it. He didn't once shut us down. He answered everything truthfully and honestly.
But when you are the one making it, you control everything.
That's why I think that's going to be the interesting narrative.
Takesha's right, though. Jordan is a brand. There's no way he's going to get too grimy. You're not. He's got too much to... It's going to be... You're not going to get... It's going to be old news, bro.
I expect that, and I'll go into that thinking, okay, that's probably what's going to be. It's not going to have like a Tiger King where they go after and they go through all the dirt. Yeah. It's going to be a 10-part fluff piece on Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So.
But it was fascinating, all the early stuff.
It is.
It is really neat to see all the historical footage they have.
I'll still watch it.
You should. You should. ESPN does a great job, too.
They do. They do.
Everyone in the chat room's calling you bruh now.
Oh, bruh.
Yeah, bruh. Old news, man. Come on, bruh.
Admit it, you're still on Facebook, and so are we. Follow the KVJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.
Well, I know what's on Denny's mind today. We didn't exactly get to him, but today is April 20th, digital date 420, yeah. No, Willie Nelson has already wished everybody a very happy 420. I guess this is like, what, Stoner Christmas? Is that what 420 really is, basically?
Yeah, I guess Snoop put out some stuff. You knew he was.
Okay.
Wiz Khalifa put out some stuff.
So if you're known for liking the weed, then today everybody wants to hear from you. This is your day to come out and speak for it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will let you know that we do have some bonus fun content for you to check out here today. We're going to be releasing a special edition of the best of Stories from a Stoner from the After the Show podcast. So if you want to listen to that while you're celebrating 420.
And me and Dennys are doing a podcast today live from my living room at 420.
Nice.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you can tune in on our Facebook channel.
A lot of ways to celebrate. That's a fantastic idea. Big fan of that. So we got a lot of stuff going on, including Dennys today giving you some of his thoughts for 420. Several different categories I asked Dennys to give us his top 5 on because he's kind of an aficionado on this. One of the categories that I gave him, what are the best stoner TV shows? He had to say, and this is producer Dennys' top 5 list for best stoner TV shows. What do you have in your list, Dennys? And we'll compare to everybody else.
So at number 5, I got Entourage. That show is not necessarily a weed show, but there's a lot of weed references in that show, and that's a great one. Hanging with the boys.
He brings a good point because I think a lot of times you're thinking of like a Harold and Kumar because there's a lot of weed
It's so
in there.
obviously weed, yeah.
But there's some you can watch, and I think it might be coupled well, depending on the individual.
You feel at home, you feel welcome, you feel accepted, but it's not overly a weed theme.
Yes.
Okay.
In a lighter tone, the next one I'd say is That 70s Show. Has like a weed feel to it, and that's an easy show to watch. You don't necessarily have to get too invested in it. And then one more on the marijuana tip. Weeds. You ever watch that show? That show was awesome.
That is a good show.
Isn't that kind of like a soccer mom and she sells weed on the side? Is that what that's about?
It's a very good show.
Okay.
If you go back and revisit it, that was a fantastic show at the time. Another great one, Rick and Morty, is fantastic.
That's cartoon, right?
If you want to go more modern, yeah. The
Okay.
cartoon, that's a fun one. And then I'd say any documentary, but I put specifically Ancient Aliens. Watch that one when you're...
you don't need a weed
you
for
get
that
twisted,
thing.
yeah.
That thing will make you think about stuff, Virginia. You would really like that program.
Yeah?
No, not at all.
No. It's on Netflix. I've got it on my queue list. Every now and then I jump into an episode.
It's a fantastic series because they keep coming up with topics. I thought they were going to run out, but they really, really delve into some pretty interesting stuff.
See, that's one of those ones that I love. My wife can't stand it. And so the only time I get to watch that is like when I can sneak off alone and check that out.
The reason why some people find it annoying because it's like the same group of people just kind of giving their own theories about aliens.
That's what makes
stuff.
it awesome.
She just thinks she's like Virginia. She just thinks all that stuff's stupid.
Does the Queen believe or not even think about it?
I don't think she has an opinion.
Really?
I think she's like, I don't think she cares. Like if you want to get her to immediately tune out of a conversation like Virginia, just mention aliens and she's like, all right, I'm out. Yeah, she's got no thoughts on it whatsoever. That's fun. All right, anything else you want to throw into Dennys' list there of the top 5? I know you've got top 5 movies and other things like that we're going to touch on today. So you can get those thoughts to us, 877-979-WRMF. Is there a special greeting or something like that for 420? Do you do a hand gesture or anything like that? I know people in Jeeps wave. Do stoners do anything with one another or just happy 420?
If you want to throw me a bag, totally down.
Well, you can't really puff pass.
Not these days.
No.
You should just puff by yourself.
Yeah, and trust a random bag from somebody listening. What could go wrong?
I hope it's laced.
Few celebrity birthdays today. Carmen Electra turns 48 years old. She's sure got quite a few interesting stories to tell.
Just with Dennis Rodman alone.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. Also, I want to give a shout out to Evan. He's turning 8 from Daddy Mommy and your brothers Aiden and Landon. Also, happy birthday to Jack Maitich. Love you very much. Hope you're staying safe at work because he's working as an electrician. Shout out to my dad, brother-in-law, my aunt for working and keeping safe. That is from Carly, sent that in. Also, happy 25th birthday to my boyfriend, Ryan. Can't wait to start our next chapter in Fort Lauderdale together. From Lauren and Scout, we love you. And Andrew, happy birthday. Love you, baby. That's from Melanie, who sent that in. Got a birthday, you want to get it on the KVJ Show, you can let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com, and we'll get your birthdays here on the show. No problem. You got a quarantine confession or a little quarantine drama that is going on here. I just talked to Matt a couple minutes ago in an interesting situation here where he's got 2 female roommates. The one that's got a boyfriend's the one he decided to hook up with. The one whose dad owns the house is the one he didn't, and now she's not talking to either one of them, which makes you think that maybe she has a crush on Matt, and so then she's not happy. So, yeah, I tell you, I think we're getting to the point almost past that threshold where people have been quarantined. I think people are starting to lose their marbles. They're going to start making some really bad decisions. I think that's one of them there. Dude needs to just he needs to quarantine himself in his room and not come out.
Yes.
That probably is the best thing to be doing for him. Other people, too, somebody needs a little advice here. They text in, said, I've been talking to this girl for a little bit. She lives about 8 hours away in a different time zone. Since the quarantine, I realized I don't want to be with her. I just want to be solo. She's very emotional, and I don't want to hurt her because I actually care about her. What do I do? Do I do it now, or should you not break up during the quarantine?
I think you can break up during the quarantine because it's all about headspace. And if somebody's messing with your headspace, if she's too emotional and you can't handle that.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys aren't really a real couple anyway.
Well, that I disagree with. I think boyfriend, girlfriend are real couples, but I also agree that you shouldn't wait on
But
it.
they haven't met face to face.
Ever? Wait, they have never met face to face?
I don't know. It doesn't say that.
Oh, I thought it said they haven't met face to face. They're 8 hours away. I mean,
No, I've been talking to this girl for a little bit, but she lives 8 hours in a different time zone. So I don't know. Maybe they have or they haven't. I don't know. I don't know what
Oh, yeah,
that
I mean, if
means.
you've never met face to face, well, you're not a real couple.
but I mean, if you just be honest with her and just tell her, hey, I'm really in it too. We're all going through it.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're being a little too crazy emotional for me, and it's messing with my headspace. I'm trying to keep my headspace sane over here, and I can't right now with you.
To me, if you know in your heart you don't want to be with that person, I'm not a big fan of waiting and prolonging it. Because if you know, waiting isn't that gonna make it worse?
And just tell her, look, my mental sanity is very precious right now. I can't have you messing with it. You're messing with it. We need to take a break.
So are you not a real couple if you haven't seen face-to-face, seen each other face-to-face?
I mean,
because I know a girl that just broke off her engagement to her fiance that she'd never seen face-to-face.
You can't have a fiance that you haven't seen face to face. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm talking, you've never been in the same room. You've never had intimate moments
They've never
together.
been in the same room. Everything has always been done on chat, FaceTime.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He proposed over FaceTime.
I get that it's real to you, but I think there's just so many things that can go wrong. There's so much lying that could go on during that relationship.
Yeah.
You could FaceTime with somebody and just see their neck up.
So if you right now, because of the quarantine, haven't met with somebody that you met on Tinder, this isn't yet a real relationship.
I told you, my niece has a friend that they've never seen each other in person. They FaceTime every single night, and they are boyfriend, girlfriend.
And that's cute. It's the beginning. It's developing. I mean, you can't call yourself engaged, and you can't say that your relationship is like so gonna be your destiny. You haven't even touched each other yet.
How do you know that person?
Slow down.
How do you know that person isn't a loud breather
Or stinky?
Or they fart.
Yeah.
And you don't know.
You need those kind of things.
You
before
do.
You can
They
finally
can have
say, okay.
raging dandruff that you can't see on the cam.
Horrific garlic toast breath.
I mean, the feet could smell like old cheese.
You need to be able to smell somebody first then before you can be in a real relationship.
They say
That's kinda what you're saying.
pheromones are important.
I just think you need to be in the same room eventually
To
before
be
you-
called a real relationship.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a virtual
I
relationship.
think you can get to know somebody.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
dating.
You'll get someone that will email you going, you guys are so wrong.
Yeah.
I've been virtually
Okay.
married.
We're old. So for me, you got to be face to face. You got to touch somebody.
Okay. So do you have a quarantine confession that you would like to make? Maybe you've stepped out of the guidelines here a little bit before we actually start officially calling people out. You can go on ahead and do a preemptive strike. Let us know, be like, yeah, I know, probably not the right thing, but I did it anyway. You violated some stay-at-home ordinances or did something that's probably not COVID-friendly.
I bet people are hooking up and they're not telling other people.
You are right.
It's definitely what's happening.
Definitely happening.
I know I'm seeing my friends are going out there. They're hooking up, Virginia.
I know.
877-979-WRMF. You can get a hold of us. We got Jasmine on here. Jasmine, you have a quarantine confession for us?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm a hairdresser.
Mm-hmm.
I just got laid off from my salon about 3 or so weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a single mom. I've got kids and bills and all that kind of stuff. It was really terrible. And one of my friends that live on my block asked me to come to her house and do her hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. It went great. And she told some friends, and now I'm pretty much booked all day making house calls, and I've been making more money now than I was before.
Wow.
I know I'm breaking the social distance rule, but I wear a mask and gloves, and now I have money for food, and life is better now financially than it was before. So I'm not sorry about it, but I just feel a little, weird about breaking the social distance thing.
Yeah, I guess you're doing what you felt like you needed to do to make some money.
I mean, I'm doing what I need to do. She's doing what she needs to do.
Yeah.
We can't judge each other in all of this. I mean, yeah, you're breaking the rules. You're breaking the laws. But if it comes to I can't eat, that's kind of a scary place.
Okay. Any other quarantine confessions?
Everyone's so set differently.
Everybody is set, and that's what you have to realize. Everybody is not going through this the same. Yes, we are all going through this, but we are not going through this the same.
True.
Show me a single mom who's trying to figure out how to feed her kid, and the kid's asking what they're going to eat for dinner tonight, and mom doesn't know. I mean, that is a messed up situation and a headspace.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Anybody else that would like to make a confession here, or anybody that you need to call out, you can do that as well here. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Feel free to hit us up here on the KVJ show. Coming up in just a second, too, I got an interesting one here. This is one I had seen on that neighborhood page that goes around. This was Manuela. She posted this up on my Nextdoor page. She said, I want to call out the customers at Dollar General who want to get into verbal confrontations with us and threaten bodily harm on all us because you need to wear a mask in the store. We are not engaging in this type of behavior. The customer will be asked to leave. The sheriff will be called, and we will refuse service at the counter and will not cash the customer out.
Oh, my.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, I kind of felt like that there were some people that were kind of edgy out there in public today or over the weekend.
But if the establishment tells you got to wear a mask to come in, then you got to wear a mask to come in.
Mm-hmm. People, by the way, are not practicing social distancing out in the grocery stores at all.
Getting a lot of texts about that.
It's not even close.
Getting a lot of texts about people who had masks that were around their neck, or if they had them on, they were barely covering their mouth and definitely not their nose.
That's not doing it right if it's on your neck.
I went to the grocery store, and I'd probably give overall everybody a D+ maybe.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Also, another column out here. People posting their high school graduation pics in honor of the class of 2020 is like posting a picture of your awesome mansion to support the homeless.
It's so bizarre. I don't understand how that is making the youth feel better. I've seen young kids come out and go, guys, stop doing this. This is weirding us out.
Thank you, Jessica, for that. And Linda said, I want to call out New York Governor Andrew Cuomo for being so hot. I've definitely become a Cuomo-sexual these days. All right. Well, I've heard a lot of ladies are loving Andrew Cuomo.
I heard an Italian person say, Cuomo and Fauci, they're the best we got. Two Italians, they handling this.
Okay. That's right. All right. Any other call-outs you need to make? 877-979-9763. Oh, yeah, baby. Today is 420. In fact, if you partake, you can check out Jaybird and Dennys. They're going to be doing a Facebook Live at 420 here on 420, April 20th. And earlier we talked about Denny's favorite TV shows when it came to stoner stuff. Also, we got movies going to be coming up, and he's got his top 5 list of best stoner snacks. So if you want some munchies today, You can go brave the coronavirus and head to your local store, stock up, but you probably already had these. I'm sure this didn't sneak up on you.
You better bring the goods, because Judgy over here in the pizza T-shirt is listening.
Oh, I can already hear the sighing.
He's already got something to say, and you haven't even started
I was just
yet.
saying, the other day I saw him eating sunflower seeds and drinking coconut water. Sorry, dog. Ain't that good of a snack.
That sounds delicious.
I love those.
Oh, God.
I do love
You
me
can
some
snack
sunflower.
with me anytime, Dennys. That sounds lovely.
Terrible snack.
Nuts and coconut water? That's perfect.
So healthy?
Oh, yeah. Staying hydrated.
Yeah, you are.
Electrolytes.
Yeah.
Sunflower seeds, so much work for such a little nugget of nut.
Yeah.
What else you got to do?
It's true.
Yeah, good call.
It's true. We need distractions.
Yeah, you need a little nut distraction.
Well,
All right, so we got producer Denny's top 5 best stoner snacks and then Jaybird's judgment. What you got?
So, I kind of went for the more sweet and savory stuff because I knew there'd be some judgment in the room here.
Ah, already the peer pressure getting to you, huh?
No, Dennys, don't you give in to him.
Jaybird's peer pressure has already tainted your list?
yeah, do you?
You do you, GMO boy. You do you.
So I came across these. I'm sure you guys have had them before, but apple fritters makes number 5 on my list. Those things are so good if you get bakery apple fritters.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
The ones that they make in the
Yup.
Publix bakery.
Oh,
yeah.
so good.
Baby, you ain't disappointing yet. That's good.
Those are a good one. Those ones I've been newly turned on to. At 4, I know Bird's not going to like it, but
Who turned you on to the apple fritters?
the wifey, man, she loves apple fritters.
Oh, okay.
I've never
She
had them
makes
before.
a mean apple dessert. Your
She
wife does.
She makes apple cake.
Kevin wanted to blame that on me.
So did you turn Bird onto the fritters then?
No, I've been going through fritters for a while. I
Oh,
think it's
okay.
kind of a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, just so
But
happened.
he does love the fritters that I gave him too from Publix.
You get the apple turnovers.
Turnovers.
Oh, okay.
Those are pretty solid too.
Okay.
In the 4th spot, I got cookie dough ice cream.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
a pretty choice.
Oh, yeah.
It's very,
Very nice.
Especially when you're really into it. Got a nice like indica going on. So,
You just stay on the couch and eat ice cream.
just eat ice cream. You finish the entire container. And Ben and Jerry got smart. They went ahead and made it like small containers that you could just eat right out of. Because they know you're going to eat the whole container.
Yeah.
And then you
They're not
immediately
playing.
get down into the
Fetal position. For number 3, I put any flavored combos. You guys like combos?
Love
Those are
'em.
so
They're
good.
good,
And
yeah.
they have 10 different awesome flavors right off the top.
Pizza flavor's great.
That's one of my favorites. The regular cheese pretzels also
The
solid.
pretzel with the salt,
They're awesome.
baby.
Oh, solid.
So
Nailing it.
any one from those is fun. For number 2, I kind of have 2 here because they could both live in the same category, but either Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal or Reese's Peanut Butter Crunch cereal. Either one of those are the 2 best.
Okay. Solid.
I do feel like this list is
Tainted?
because he was afraid
You
of
didn't want to get shamed? Yeah.
Well, I know he'll disagree on the number 1 spot for me, but this one just, I even seen it in that snack list we did this year. It just shows how high up there it is. Nacho cheese Doritos, man.
Oh, they're great.
Those
yeah.
are the best. The
I
best
love 'em.
chip.
They're a
argue with those.
legend. Yeah.
You could even dip them in salsa, add that extra little kick to it. It's
Yeah,
solid.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember the whole snack hit, but they were a Final Four item.
They
Yeah.
were so good. So
Very
that would
popular.
be my top 5 right there.
You did good, kid. You did good.
Okay, you approve. All right.
Judgy over here signed off on it. Oh, okay.
Oh, he was ready.
Judgy
Oh,
Judy.
He was ready to pounce.
I could do
He
a
was
healthy
ready.
stoner list too if you guys want.
I would love that.
The not so popular snacks with the bird, but they are a little bit better on the waistline.
Okay. I do have Think Fast that we're going to get to as well coming up here. We'll get your healthy snacks. And are we going to put all of your stuff up online so that people can see the top TV shows, movies,
Yeah,
all that kind of good stuff?
When we wrap today's show, I'll go ahead and put the entire list up for everybody.
Maybe you guys can recap it too on the 420
Oh,
Facebook
yeah.
Live
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Recap it all.
I'm sure Bird will have his own choice snacks.
Yeah, people want to hear you roar, Dennis, because you got that tiger face going.
I'm telling you, his animal noise is pretty good.
The good thing though about the face paint is I can't touch my face. This might be a better deterrent than anything because
Oh, right, yeah.
even when I have an itch, I have to be very, I have to acknowledge it because it's getting all over my hands.
That's crazy how that tiger face makes him look like he's in his mid-20s.
It's made him look a lot younger, yeah. I thought he looked like a 7-year-old boy to me.
You look adorable.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'm going to
Very
be
cute.
having all sorts of different tiger faces this whole week, so get used to it.
Yeah, it's very cute. All right, let's do a quick round of Think Fast here. Oh, we got everybody in the studio.
Who's champ?
I think you're the champ.
I am the champ.
Aren't you?
I don't know.
Been winning a lot here. Look at you, man. Very impressive
It
stuff.
doesn't feel like I am the champ. I think you're the champ, Virginia.
I'm the no-name movie game champ.
It was over here.
Now, I remember Jaybird is the Think Fast champ because remember last week, he puts the hat on, then he comes over and starts gloating in the camera. Then you throw water on him, Virginia. Remember he tripped
Yes.
and got himself caught up in his laptop and it went flying off
You
the...
are the sassy champ.
Yeah.
Champ.
Yeah, you are the champ. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Wear that thing with pride. Okay, here we go. Think fast. Got different categories for you. Suits is going to help me judge this. Virginia, Jaybird, and Dennys will be competing. All right, first up, it is a type of powder that starts with the letter G.
GHB.
A type of powder.
Gold Bond.
Oh, that's a good.
Oh, that would work. What did you say, Jaybird?
GHB.
GHB.
GHB. It's a powder. It's a drug. You knock yourself out with it.
I couldn't even understand what you'd said. I was like,
I mean, I said GHB, but
I don't know
Thought it
anything
was
about
a
GHB.
liquid. I think it's a liquid.
you probably know more about that than I do.
Our resident expert.
When I've seen it
Yes.
back in the
Yeah.
day.
I lost that point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up, think fast. Something you buy in the cosmetics aisle that starts with an L.
L'Oreal.
Say L'Oreal.
Lip liner.
L'Oreal would work,
Yeah,
right? That's
L'Oreal.
okay. We'll give Jaybird that.
Someone knows designer things.
Okay.
You sound like it.
I don't think you said it right.
Designer.
He's over there gloating and he mispronounced it.
I didn't say it right.
L'Oreal.
Okay, look, if I didn't say it right, I don't want the point, Coach.
Take the point.
Okay. Next up here, a delivery service that starts with the letter U.
Uber Eats.
Eats.
I think Virginia started in on that first.
Dang, I'm food.
Wow.
Wow.
And you support them.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, next up, think fast. Something you'd find on the beach that starts with the letter S.
Sand.
Virginia again.
Our Tiger's a little slow today.
Wow. Okay. If Virginia gets one more, she is our Think Fast champ.
Come on, Dennys.
Dennys has been eliminated.
Dennys.
Kitty's gonna nap.
Yeah. Okay, things in a bathroom that start with the letter L.
Loofah.
Oh, Vicious V gets the cat back.
Wow.
Pretty impressive stuff. All right,
Thank you,
very nice.
sir.
You get to gloat in the camera.
Yeah, I got a lot of hardware over here. I got the no-name movie belt.
Yep.
I got the Think Fast cap.
Gosh.
What else can I take from you?
All over it. All over it.
Kevin, could you hit the mute button?
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news.
Yeah, what?
So many people on there. Ow!
Yeah. All right, a couple crazy things going on coronavirus-wise here in your whacked out news today. They say the pandemic is now affecting the international drug business. Dang. And drug traffickers are having trouble moving their supply. So people are still buying drugs like crazy. Not they got those stimulus checks. Woo woo. But apparently the prices on cocaine and heroin have gone up on the streets.
Higher risk to deliver it, perhaps. Higher the risk, more of the price.
Yeah, I guess it's probably just, shipping and things like that. I know last week in the Whacked Out News, we had that story where some drug smugglers were trying to ship cocaine in masks.
In the protective gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it felt like, we'll take advantage of this opportunity, but they got hip to the game and that got shut down. So a lot of stuff that you're seeing is if you're watching the news, majority of the anchors for the most part are at home, or at least the specialists that they bring in. They no longer bring them into the studio. They would just do a live shot. And even local TV has a lot of their anchors now
Yes, they
broadcasting
do.
from home. And it's all good. You just got to be, aware of your surroundings. There was a news reporter in Sacramento that was in her bathroom. She was doing a little segment about tips on, what you could do about your hair and things like that while quarantined at home. And she's doing this whole live shot. Things are great. And she's just focused on delivering, her segment, not paying attention to the fact that her husband is naked in the shower with one of those glass doors. And all you see is big old side dong right through the entire shot.
Now, that's how you get me to tune into your news.
Yeah, people are like, no, geez, no.
Was it just the silhouette of it?
No, like you could see him completely. He's in the shower. And
Wow.
just, right over her right shoulder.
That's amazing.
There is nothing but side dong.
Do you get in trouble for that?
I mean, probably.
It'd be interesting to see, what would the FCC thing be on that? I mean, she didn't do anything intentionally, but I mean, still, you don't notice the showers running in the background?
Yeah, you got to be better. You can't just, I mean...
I get we got a lot of things on our mind these days, but
Yeah.
how do you not even notice?
Just check the background, girl.
Yeah, that your husband is naked in the shower behind you.
We do appreciate the side dong, though. Thank you.
Still getting a lot of that and then some in some of these Zoom meetings. This happened Friday at a virtual meeting at the Indiana Election Commission. Apparently somebody who got in there and decided to punch the clown on camera.
Oh, my.
Made it into there.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, a little Zoom bombing there. And that was unwarranted and a little shocking.
The election committee got more than they bargained for.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Do you take 5 after that? Just to collect,
You definitely recess.
Collect
Yeah.
yourself.
You definitely let people pull themselves together.
Oh, this was rather creative. Some skaters in San Clemente, California, man, they had their skate park covered in sand because they wouldn't stop skating because thrashing forever, dog.
Oh, were they gleaming the cube?
They were.
Popping some ollies?
And so, the really stiff city leaders said, you know what, we'll just put sand all over your skate park. But you know what they did instead? They then started doing motorbikes.
Whoopsie.
So there you go. They just, adapted. Went from skating to motorbiking on the sand. Fun little thing they were doing. A family in New Orleans is having some fun. They put a sign out front of their house that says, "You honk, we drink."
That is fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah. They say they got so many honks, people are sometimes driving around the neighborhood to come by and honk again.
That's awesome.
They said they were sticking to either beer or watered-down mixed drinks so that things wouldn't get completely out of control.
They have to say that.
Yeah,
We're not judging y'all. Just do you.
Yeah. There was a guy in Connecticut that broke into a restaurant that was shut down last week and lived there for 4 days eating and drinking.
Oh, my. 4 days?
Yeah.
Wow. I bet he
Nice
did a
little perks.
lot of damage.
Frick, that's kind of cozy.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, hey, ain't nobody around, so I'm going to take advantage of this. So that's just it. Some people,
What restaurant?
It was a Connecticut restaurant. Doesn't say the name.
I mean, there are some restaurants I would love to be stuck for a weekend.
Just go in there and help yourself.
Well, imagine being stuck at an Outback Steakhouse for a week. And
Yeah.
you have full reign to do whatever. You can invent your own dishes.
It's
Yeah.
not legal, though. He did get arrested.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
saying
still,
for fantasy. Can I just have this?
The only thing about this, you do have to be able to cook it yourself and, be able to make it well.
Brother, I have been cooking galore has been going up in my place ever since Virginia has been giving me some little hints.
Okay.
I got oil over the weekend.
Look at you. Oh, I put
Was
you
that for
some...
cooking?
That is for cooking, yes.
Okay.
It's not lube for your tender moments alone.
No.
America's starting to catch up with you, Jay Bird. They bought 92% more pizzas this March than they did last March in 2019.
I
get it.
believe it. Yeah. Pizza is comfort food for my family. They love it. And right now, they need all the comfort they can get. So we're definitely eating more pizzas.
Yeah, I am looking for a new pizza place to try in the West Palm. I mean, I love my Camille's, but I want to try something in this neck of the woods that's good. I'm running out of places. If anyone's got any hints, suggestions, let me know.
All right. It is 420 after all.
I am looking to try.
Yeah.
They're going to sell some pies today.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And a guy who was the only passenger on a Southwest Airlines flight from Fort Lauderdale to St. Louis on Thursday night got his own personalized in-flight messages.
Aww.
Could you imagine that? I mean, in a sense, that's really your own private plane at that point. It's just you.
Yeah, they were addressing him by his name. I was going to put the audio in there. It was so terrible. Kevin. But yeah, they were addressing him by his name.
Okay.
I wonder what he does for a job that he had to fly right now.
Yeah, some people are still having to do that.
Yeah, if your job makes you fly and you have to do it because you need the paycheck. Oh.
So if I was to buy a plane ticket right now for December, would it be cheap?
I think you would get some deals right now, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Where you want to go?
Oregon.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would look into it. What else you got to do? Do some research.
Yeah. Got this email from Nikki in Fort Lauderdale. She said, OMG, KVJ, have you guys heard of this Netflix show, Too Hot to Handle?
I saw that it came up on my most popular list, and I didn't click on it because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, she said it has to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. There's absolutely no way that I'd ever be watching the show if I wasn't in quarantine right now. You have to watch at least the first episode or two. I don't think I'll make it past 2 episodes because it's just so stupid, but I have to at least mention it for a topic of discussion one day this week. Wow, just wow.
I mean, yeah, our standards are real low. So if you find something trashy and entertaining, we'll give it a run.
I tried 4 different movies this weekend. I stopped all 4 about 20 minutes in. I just couldn't get into them.
It's hard to find stuff, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you get in the zone and you find, like the week before, I watched The Talented Mr. Ripley, a movie from the 90s, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
Tried to watch some other 90s movies, wouldn't feel it. Tried to watch that Bruce Willis movie, Death Wish. That was not awesome.
Not awesome, huh?
It was okay.
Okay. I think I might go back. I haven't watched Boomerang for a while, and that was on the free movies you could get on my Xfinity.
Nice.
So you got that.
Try Coming to America if you haven't seen that one for a while.
I watch that all the time. I watched that about a year ago.
Okay.
All the way through. Loved it. Yeah, I could watch that again and again. The Too Hot to Handle, here's the concept on it. If you do like your trashy TV, it features sexy singles sequestered together with their eyes on a $100,000 prize. And in a twist to the typical reality dating show, the contestants cannot hook up in any way or they will lose the prize money. So they dangle them out and they're all hot, they're all buff. I see them like any other show, they're drinking shots and all that kind of stuff. But here's the deal, you cannot in any way paw on anybody else on the show or you're out of the money.
Oh.
So they basically get them all ginned up where you would, and you would think people would start hooking up, but you can't, or you, I guess, get booted off the show. If you're like, oh, okay, forget it, let's just do it.
Oh, you know people are going to get booted off.
The creators of the show say it was inspired by that Seinfeld episode where all the main cast members made a bet on who could abstain from self-love the longest.
Yes.
And that's where Too Hot to
The
Handle
master of
came
my
in.
domain.
Yeah, I know it's trashy TV, but it almost sounds at least mildly entertaining if you got nothing else going on to see. Because normally, I'm so over the concept of, okay, hot people, they have some cocktails and they hook up. Like, all right, we've seen that 8 million times.
Hot people, they have cocktails they can't
hook up or they lose money. A lot of money. That's actually kind of genius.
We're in.
They say Tiger King, just to put a number on it, for the week of March 23rd, according to Nielsen, this is different than the Netflix themselves numbers. They say that Americans watched 5.3 billion minutes of Tiger King, to put it in perspective. And that's only counting people who watched it on actual TV sets. So if you watch it on your phone or something like that, the number's even higher than 5.3 billion minutes.
Wow. Which a ton of people watch it on their phone.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the problem with Nielsen. They don't take into account those other devices that are out there. That's just crazy, though, huh? Virginia, you said last night you watched the Michael Jordan special that is out.
Panda was all excited. We watched the first 2 episodes, and it's a lot of his early career stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of old footage that is fascinating to see, how they talked, how they reported.
Yeah, it's called The Last Dance. I think I'm probably going to go home and watch.
You should. You would
the
really
first
like
two today.
it.
Oh, I'm excited about it.
It's told from his perspective, and you were telling me some of the behind the scenes, like the GM of the team. He kind of paints him in a bad light.
Yeah, it was. I was reading an article on a lot of the stuff. If you follow Michael Jordan in sports, then a lot of these things, you know, or you've heard these stories.
I had never heard
About-
or knew any of this, so it was all new to me.
Yeah, about Michael Jordan. Never necessarily, some of them are just hearsay. Some of them, you like maybe a little bit more depth. And the stories, the general manager at the time, Jerry Krause, who ran the Chicago Bulls, Jordan felt like, he was just getting minimal contracts, only signed year-to-year deals. He wasn't, dispersing. He broke up the team earlier than he should have. But apparently he would walk up to this guy and he'd be going, "You look terrible today." He's like, "Are you taking pills to make yourself extra ugly or short? Or did you eat something to make yourself fat?" Apparently it was just really like... The comments between these two was just seething.
Some of that is in the documentary. You see him talking down to Jerry.
Okay.
And that's fascinating to me. As a lover of all things drama, I was like, ooh, he's got real drama with his boss. That's awesome.
There's probably, I'm sure, going to be a lot of the gambling stuff. Michael Jordan, apparently, I used to hear stories that he would keep the team bus waiting because he would be in the arena and he would be betting people like game checks on, "I bet you can't make it from here. I bet you can't make it from there." I've heard on the golf course, he's pretty much the same, and even in the casinos. What I really want to hear is if there was an NBA suspension that is the reason why he went to play minor league baseball for 2 years in the middle of all of his championships. Is that the real reason why he went to play baseball? His dad was murdered in 1993. Did that have anything to do with Michael Jordan's gambling? I'd like to know that. And then I want to know the infidelity stories of Michael Jordan, and I want to know what was going on, the secret behind the scenes with he and Tiger Woods and Charles Barkley hanging out. If they cover that in the special and give you some new nuggets, it's going to be a great special. It's going to be unbelievable. If they just give you the surface stuff and recap his career, it's okay. So that's what I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to go. It's a 10-part series. They've got 2 of the 10 out. So if you're looking for something to watch, that's something to check out.
ESPN always does a great job, too. I mean, I'm not even into basketball, but they make it dramatic and interesting, and the details. I love the behind-the-scenes details. They do a good job on that.
Yeah. So I just wonder, because I think Michael Jordan's own company is behind the making of it. So, they say he's very forthright.
Okay.
And, was open and honest, but I guess we'll see. Lots of people checking out Too Hot to Handle on Netflix. Somebody said, "So glad you mentioned it. It's a train wreck."
Well, then we got to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of Love Island, so I can only imagine I'm going to love this.
Yeah, somebody said, "I watched Too Hot to Handle over the weekend, and there is a money part of the $100,000 that they all can split at the end. However, if you do any kissing, heavy petting, or sex, you will lose money for the entire group."
Oh, you hurt everybody.
Kissing is the $3,000 fine, heavy petting is $6,000, and sex is $20,000. So I guess that's how they break it down.
If you were at your horniest and think about that in your life, could you be able to not act on it for all that money if you were quarantined with someone you were really attracted with?
I think so.
Yeah, I
mean,
think I could too.
I like money.
But yeah, they'd have to really, really seduce.
You could turn it off, though, for a pile of cash.
I think you could. I think I could.
You could?
Yeah, I think I could. I'd keep my head in the game.
Now put a few wines in him. I don't know.
The wines would make it tough. Yeah, I don't think I could drink.
Kind of sounds like a fun KVJ challenge, doesn't it? We got any hot ladies want to volunteer? We're talking a little bit about the Too Hot to Handle that is on Netflix, trashy TV. If you love those kind of like dating shows, it's basically they go on there with the hot guys and girls. They give them a bunch of booze, get them all ginned up, but then they fine them if they start making out or heavy petting or actually have sex.
So that's pretty good that you don't lose all the money. You get a little bit taken away. Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to do anything to yourself? Because that's people are going to ask that. That makes it tougher.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that part. I don't know how you would police that. That part's got to be tougher, right?
Well, I think you have cameras in the bedroom.
Well,
obviously.
but what if the bathroom?
They have it on Big Brother. They have cameras in the bathroom.
They do.
So if you're sitting on the commode, they film you?
So no, you can go into the bathroom. If you're going number 2, they don't film you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Maybe sounds.
I don't know. Some people are like a ninja.
You're mic'd up. You're mic'd up. There's no way you can stay silent.
And he means by some people himself.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, when you got a family sneaking around.
If you are mic'd up, there's no way you could hide that.
Ninja Kev.
Oh, yeah.
Just the mere motion of it's going to make a sound.
Oh, yeah. There's you have to learn, Grasshopper.
Kevin will show you. That'll be creepy.
Well, with the quarantine stuff we're doing, a lot of the hookups now, they got to be virtual. So we used to do this thing called Hookup or Hang Up, and I think we're going to bring it back here with a little bit of a virtual twist. What we're going to need this week is if you're single, male or female, just send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com. We need your age, description, some interests. Photo would help so that we can post that up. And then what we're going to do is we'll have you on Thursday. You can tell a little bit about yourself and whatnot. And then we'll find some people to be interested in going out on a date with you. And then we'll bring in like 3 different candidates for you. And you get to choose one of the 3. And then we'll hook you guys up virtually over the weekend, either by FaceTime, Zoom, whatever it might be. And then we'll find out on Monday how it went, if you guys want to keep, the virtual hangout going or not.
Yeah, and break up the monotony a little bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we figured, why not? I know that people are going, onto the dating apps more frequently than they used to. So we'll do that for everybody else out there. Mail@kvjshow.com. Maybe we could do something with the bird in this too, Virginia.
Well, now you're talking.
Maybe a little virtual hookup. Maybe he could be the guinea pig to try this out. We could work out the wrinkles on the bird.
Now's the time to get me. Do it.
Yeah.
He's primed.
So, ladies, if you ever want to crack at the bird, this might be the chance to do it. We got him. He's weak. We could do a little virtual date. Yeah. This is almost like a would you rather question. Would you rather die at a regular age, feeling like you lived a full life, or would you rather stretch it to 150 years before you passed?
What happens in that 150 years? Is it awful? Is it quality of life terrible?
This is the question that a lot of people are starting to kick around now, including 2 scientists, that they have a $1 billion bet to see whether the first person who will live to 150 is alive today. Now, here's the whole thing. This is kind of a spoof bet because neither one of these guys are going to be, alive to pay it off or to receive the money. So this is just science humor that they have going on here. But they do have a legitimate debate that's going on. Now, one of the professors says that advances in biomedical science and drugs that improve cellular function would make living to 100 routine, with a few people reaching the age of 150. So instead of thinking, I'm going to get till 80 and then you never know, the new normal would be, I'm going to get to 100 and then we'll see how far I go from there, maybe even to 150.
Could you think about right now in your life, if you were guaranteed to live to 100 and you would feel healthy living to 100, how much more time you have, how many more things there are to do?
Yeah, it's exciting to think about.
It is.
I think about my life now, and because that question came up the other day. Wouldn't it be interesting if you knew the stat of how much percentage of your life you actually remember? Do you remember 90% of your life? Do you remember only 80? Do you remember 70? I mean, first of all, like your first 2 or 3 years, there's not going to be a lot of memories from that. And then, college, you're a little fuzzy.
Dirt of the days.
Yeah, right.
Binge drinking.
Sure. So how much do you really remember? So one says 150 he thinks is going to be the norm, but the other professor says that he believes the upper limits of life expectancy are in the mid to high 80s, even with all the advancements. And under that scenario, he says, many more people will live to see 100, but not 150. So these are 2 guys who are in the field, that this is what they do. One says that he thinks that 100 will be the new normal, possibly 150. And the other says, I think maybe you'll have better quality of living and we won't have as much disease, but I don't think it's really going to change the life expectancy much.
If you lived to 100 and you were still healthy and you knew you had a good another 10 or 20 years after, could you see yourself sitting there doing the dirt of the day at age 100?
I could. I would like it because I just want to see what kind of life my kids have. And so for me, that would be the most exciting part, like watching them grow up, watching them have their families and watching all that develop.
there's a factor that I don't think anybody's taken into consideration because not enough people have done this, but I would call it life fatigue. And would that be something that'd be part of a real discussion if people were pinging out at 120, 130, we got somebody to 140? Would life fatigue be a real thing where you're just like, gosh, I kind of feel like it's Groundhog Day. Like I've been doing the same thing over and over again. Because you remember that movie, like Bill Murray starts to go crazy just living the same day over and over again, where he's like, I just want out of this thing.
I think you might feel that way if you're just kind of staying stationary and not growing, and you're kind of. I think if you're constantly learning and you feel good, you're gonna like. I mean, there's so much to learn. Even if you're 150, you're not gonna learn everything. So if you are healthy and you stay positive, I think it could be awesome. If you're just sitting there collecting your thoughts and slowly dying, you'll hate it.
That's where I just wonder where people would be. Because if you have limited resources and income and, you know, let's say that maybe as time goes on too, your family might start shifting off to different places and you may be more isolated than you ever have. Could that possibly be the thing? By the time you get to 120 or 130, you're like going, gosh, I don't know, everybody's kind of moved away and I feel like I'm doing the same thing every day.
Well, just think about how different life was 150 years ago. What is it going to look like 150 years in the future from now? Oh, my gosh. It's going to be... It would blow our mind if we could. I mean, it would blow their minds if they could go back 150 years and fast forward to now. People that were living back then, and you see people with FaceTime and computers, they'd crap themselves.
I talked to my 97-year-old grandma yesterday, and I really think the only thing that she's sad about is that her vision is going. But I think she still wants to be here. She can't wait to get back out and about. I think it's just a frame of mind.
Well, I'm with your grandma. If things start falling apart, I wouldn't want to be around, I don't think. I think fatigue would definitely set in.
I think that's what they would have to do. That would be a real part of training is you would have to say, here's how life fatigue doesn't settle in. This is what you need to do to still get the most out of it. You know, somebody said my great-grandma died of old age at around 106, and she was traveling and spending time with kids and grandkids and great-grandkids till she was 103.
That's awesome.
So that's what I think it is. But if you're a person that you get up every day, you sit in your recliner, you start watching TV, imagine your 40th year of doing that. You're just like, all right, I'm over Judge Judy. And she would still be around.
She would.
Judge Judy will outlive
She would
us all.
still be around doing the same thing.
If I'm healthy...
And so would Maury.
If I'm healthy, I'd like to stick around.
Okay. You're sticking around, Virginia. Would you confidently want to stick around?
I would. I just want to see how the family ends up being and try to help make them happy.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of think so, too. All right, well, that's the discussion. Oh, yeah, today is April 20th. People like Willie Nelson and Dennys love days like today. In fact, he and Jay Bird are going to be on Facebook Live at 420 today. So if you'd like to jump on with them and do whatever you do on 420, feel free to jump on.
Just talk to the nice people, see how they're doing.
Together.
Yeah.
A community.
Yeah, sounds like some fun stuff.
On this joyous holiday.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know, Dennys, we've already gone over some great TV shows, some great snacks for 420, and now I believe that you've got a list of the best stoner movies, your personal favorite top 5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's hear what you got here.
Well, starting at number 5 here, I put The Big Lebowski. I don't know if you guys seen that movie.
I've heard of it.
It's pretty solid, especially if you're, partaking in the holiday.
Okay.
It's a very offbeat movie. It's a good one, though. It's very good, and the dude's awesome in that one.
I've heard good things about that. That's a movie I need to watch. Maybe I'll do it with the quarantine stuff. I've just, for whatever reason, never watched that movie.
Come on over today.
Okay, yeah.
I had nothing but time, brother.
Yeah.
At the number 4 spot, I put The Pineapple Express. I don't know if you guys seen that movie. That movie's pretty hilarious, too.
Okay, have not.
You haven't seen Pineapple Express?
I need to start getting my stoner movies in order here.
Have you seen that, Virginia?
I haven't. I don't do pot.
I get it.
You don't have to do pot to watch the movie.
I'm not in the club.
In the club?
We got to play that 90s music.
Yeah, it's a club. Yeah, is there a membership? And yeah.
Let's see here. In the 3rd spot, this one's kind of more obscure, but it's a great pot film, is Grandma's Boy. I know you've seen that one, Bird.
I have.
That one's kind of, I think it's Adam Sandler's, side... he has, a production company now.
Yeah,
and he'll
right.
produce movies
I know it's his buddy, Alan, what's his name, that was in, he was...
51st
and 51st Dates, where he was the guy that would forget everything after
10
every 10
second
seconds. Yeah, and he's from West Palm. He went to Palm Beach High.
Yeah, his sisters live down here.
Yes.
He's very cool. He's the star of that one.
He's from Wedding Singer. There were cones.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
That's a really underrated one. And a not so underrated one in the 2 spot. I got Dazed and Confused. That's a super classic.
Okay.
I love that movie.
And that movie still holds up.
It's such a good. One of my favorite lines is, "We came here to drink some beer and kick some ass, and we're almost out of beer."
It's like, you got any weed on you? Be a lot cooler if you did. And then to top it off, I mean, this is probably another underrated one, but I know a lot of people do know it. But How High with Method Man and Redman, that might be one of the best pop movies
Really?
made. Yeah.
He speaks very highly of this movie. I've never seen it before.
Maybe today.
Yeah, well, so I'm a fan of like Half Baked and stuff. It's kind of down that same route, kind of goofy comedy, but I mean, they just take it away. That movie's awesome.
Half Baked's pretty funny too.
Okay. Okay, does your house look a little different than it did before the quarantine? My house now has got a basketball court in the living room. All the furniture's been pushed aside. My son got the tape out, and we got a full-on court. Yesterday we were playing a little around the horn. It's kind of fun. Out there, he's doing a little shooting contests. You know, I mean, it's one way. We can't go out to the basketball courts anymore. They shut that down. So it's the only way we can get some physical exercise.
Yeah, I took this, the closet I have where the ghost or whatever.
Yes, the ghost rave.
Yeah, so I cleaned out that entire closet, and now what I do is each week I make my own kind of like toy diorama where I make all these scenes with soda cans and my figures. And that's how my closet looks now, and I get great fun out of it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We asked the question, posted up my little home court on Facebook, and then got some interesting photos and comments from people. A lot of people are doing it. Somebody sent a photo. They've got a tent pitched in their living room.
Love it.
So the kids are kind of doing campouts there.
That's fun.
Yeah, that is.
We were building forts over the weekend. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Building forts is fun. Not to sound like a dork, I built some forts for my figures.
That was Anna that posted that up. Also, Casey posted a photo. Her boys are into karate and jiu-jitsu, and they got jiu-jitsu mats down in their living room.
Now's a good time to train.
Yeah, it is.
So they can do that stuff. Colleen, we got a ballet bar and ballet flooring. Posted a photo up of what their living room looks like. Yeah, same thing. All the furniture's pushed to one side, and they got that in the middle. Casey posted a photo. They got a baseball net where you can actually hit into the net in their living room. So they're able to do that right there in the house.
I'd love to smack some balls around.
You would, huh?
I would. I've been jonesing.
And not in a sexy way.
No, I've been jonesing to hit.
Yeah.
I want to hit some balls.
Yeah, I feel like, it's kind of interesting just because, we've been getting some emails and some comments, and, one came in here, just said, yeah, how much longer before you guys really start losing your mind with all this stuff?
Are they asking us specifically or just people in general?
I think, us to see where we are with it on your level of tolerance on the social distancing and things. I mean, you really kind of started to see this weekend, it looked like some people, the cabin fever is getting to them, and there's more protests that are going on. There was a lot of, about like, was it 100, 200 cars, something like that. It was 100 cars that was going out, and people were protesting in South Florida, just how shut down everything is, and they want to get out. Yeah, 100 South Floridians, it says here.
Well, I usually go to the grocery store early in the morning on the weekend, so that's usually my perspective, and I went late in the afternoon, and man, what a different animal it was.
It's packed.
Well, I just felt like... And this is just my own personal experience, but I went to 2 different stores and nobody was really at all practicing social distancing. People were in the chip aisle where it had the chip and the bread. People were climbing over each other to get buns.
Oh, my.
There's a lot of people there, man.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in the same family, but why are you fighting over buns if you're in the same family?
Yeah, I told you I was out. I went out to a store. Nobody there I was the only one that had a mask on. I looked like it looked like it wasn't quarantine time, and I was insane.
Really?
It was yeah.
You were the only one with the mask?
I was the only one with a mask on, yeah.
When was this?
This is late last week.
Okay, late last week, but because over the weekend, I feel like 85% of people had masks on. There was people who didn't have them on.
Yeah. So I don't know if less people have them on now than did, or more, or where everybody is.
Ever since you brought up that whole what's that term, couple, whatever that term is, where the couples are walking on the side of the road and they kind of bully you off.
Oh, yeah.
What's that, couple spreading?
Couple distancing or something like that. I don't remember now.
I notice it all the time now. If you have a couple and they're walking down the sidewalk and you're by yourself, they're pushing you to the side, whether you got a dog or not.
Spreaders, maybe, couple spreaders, something like that.
You got to move for them.
They will not move. There's a lot of couple bullies out there.
Yeah. And so what are you going to do? It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, the email we got said, at first I didn't mind the social distancing thing because I'm not a big fan of going out and hanging with a bunch of people kind of guy. But, man, it just hit me yesterday. I want to go out just to get a pair of shoes. But, of course, I couldn't. So now, I got terrible shoes. I got holes in the sole.
Aww.
And now I'm mentally just kind of done with all the social distancing. I am really ready for this to be over.
It was crazy, too. I told you all about the guy who was giving out religious pamphlets at Publix. And he chased me down to try to give me a pamphlet.
Dude.
And when I refused, I go, dude, I don't want your pamphlet.
I don't want your Corona pamphlet.
Some other woman yelled at him for even trying to give out pamphlets, but he was relentless giving out the good word.
Now is not the time. Jesus will give you a little break. If you pause, you're spreading the scripture for right now.
But did he not? Does he not know Corona is running wild right now? You're not supposed to do that.
I don't think so.
Some of these religious zealots, or however you say it, they just think that, God's going to protect me from the corona. I'm not going to get it.
And I'm not coming down on religion. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that this one specific dude is not doing it the right way by running up on people.
It's not the time to hand out propaganda in front of the store.
But he was screaming. It was quite the scene.
Yeah.
It was the Publix off of Community.
Yeah, okay, off Village there?
Yeah.
Oh, off of Community on the other side
yes.
of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting this next couple of weeks just to see what's going on and where the stories are and, what's happening. And, all these stories, too, are going to make people a little bit squirrelier, too, just with the one that I'd heard on Friday that had come out. And I'm wondering, I assume probably a lot of people had heard that the data released had said that, or suggested that the peak in Florida was on April 2nd. So, people probably hear that and be going, weekend.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to say, man.
I know.
I'm just a small town kid from Lake Park. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, I hear you.
If you love KVJ on the radio, you'll love them even more on Instagram. Follow at KVJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.
Kind of interesting just to hear the commentary that happens with people and what is going on. And, through social media as well. It's kind of like looking today, and there's like 80% of people in this survey they talked about admitted that they knew they had read now what was bad information on the coronavirus. And I know that Facebook is now trying to step up and do their part and do more to flag some of those conversations that are happening that are clearly, obviously bad information.
Well, they're doing a terrible job.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think they are realizing that people are like, kind of all over them and, saying, hey, we need to do a better job of some of the stories that are getting out there and what people are talking about. Yeah, I saw some interesting stuff about this that is going on with some of the conversations and what they're going to do. So apparently they're going to be flagging stuff a lot more. They're going to warn users if they liked, reacted, or commented on content that has been deemed harmful or other myths debunked by the World Health Organization. They say after a piece of content is rated false by its fact checkers, its distribution is reduced and there are warning labels associated with it. The features will start to roll out in the next several weeks.
Okay, so it'll tell you, like, if I've gone on and liked a comment and then it comes back that it's false and fake, it'll reach out to me and tell me, hey, by the way.
Yeah, and I think they're just trying to help guide people because some of the information is shifting and changing. I was talking to my parents yesterday, and my dad was like, with the wearing of the face mask, he's like, it's only good if you have the coronavirus and you don't spread it to somebody else. I'm like, I think they switched that, Dad. It actually is good to help keep you from getting the coronavirus. And see, there's just people that, the narrative out there is so confusing because it's gone back and forth. And I was reading today where medical experts say that you shouldn't wear gloves while grocery shopping during the coronavirus outbreak. The CDC is saying that gloves should only be worn when you're caring for someone who has the virus, especially if you're handling their clothes or cleaning surfaces inside the sick person's home. They say latex gloves can rip very easily, and they're not designed for going out and doing things in daily life. And they add that wearing gloves give people a false sense of security. It wastes time and creates more demand for something that's unnecessary. The CDC is saying the best thing to do is just wash your hands a lot during the outbreak. So they're saying now, unless you're caring for somebody, don't wear gloves. Right. It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Unless they're breakdancing gloves just because they look cool.
Yes. That's
Kidding.
true.
Don't wear breakdancing gloves.
I'll tell you one thing that is some good, valuable information, because a lot of people have been doing massive amounts of cleansing, and they're grabbing cleaning products saying, oh, darn, I ran out of this. Well, you know what? Yeah, I had some bleach. It's okay. I'll just grab some rubbing alcohol, and I can finish the rest of it and mix that in a little bit. They're warning people now, if you didn't do great at chemistry back in the day.
Don't try to do it at home.
Yes, here's a couple things that maybe you didn't think of. You're like going, well, I could clean with bleach or rubbing alcohol. But the problem is when you put the two together, you make chloroform.
Oh, my gosh.
Really?
Yes. So
You knock yourself out.
Oh,
That's
so-
how easy it is?
That's how easy it is. Yeah.
Oh,
So
my
they're warning people
gosh.
because, people, if you're at home and you're just disinfecting like crazy and you run out of one cleaning supply, you may just be like, oh, I'll just go grab that. That seems like that would clean well. And not a lot of these mixtures play well together.
How long are you out for with a chloroform?
I think it depends upon the concentration, how you get it, all that kind of stuff.
And I think you automatically pee your pants if you get knocked out. And that's
I don't know, but we're gonna have to try now that you brought that up. So
that's great. Kevin,
We're going to knock you out. And if you don't pee your pants, we're going to spill water on your crotch so you think you did.
I think it's a medical fact. Now, I don't want to say it's a medical fact if it's not, but I thought if you pass out, you do go number one.
really,
I'm trying to look it up, although chloroform's kind of tough to spell.
it's chloro.
Chloroform.
CHLOROFORM. Chloroform, if you're looking for that. They also warn that bleach and vinegar, two things that a lot of people might clean with, put those together, though, you've just made chlorine gas.
Oh, my.
Yes.
So you should not be playing chemistry at home.
Yeah, we're talking about the kind of stuff that, they've used in, like, in biological warfare.
Oh,
So
my
basically, just use Pine Sol.
Well,
It smells great.
Sure, but I think probably the lesson is that people are using the Pine Sol and like, oh, I'm out of Pine Sol. Oh, well, I'll just go get something else. Know some of these things, because if you run out and you go to your plan B mixed with your plan A may be very bad.
Pine Sol's one of those things where I smell it.
I know you want to drink it.
I get hungry.
You always talk about
But since I was a kid, I was like that. And gasoline, it does. You smell it, and it does something to me. It takes over.
Yeah.
Gasoline too. Does that make sense?
It'll make
You've
you
always
high.
been a little off.
I know someone's gonna back me up on that.
That they want to drink it when they
Pine
smell it?
Sol?
Again, it's not that you should drink it. It just makes you. It does something to your chemistry. It makes you want to just keep smelling the crap out of it.
Yeah, okay, you're drawn to it.
Yes, and I
Okay.
know I'm not the only one. You got to be getting calls about that.
Okay, I'm sure. Phone's going crazy right now. Let's see here.
Oh, the Pine Sol lines are open.
Yeah. And one more bad combination: bleach and ammonia will make chloramine gas.
Oh, my.
Good.
So so just as a quick refresher, don't put bleach and rubbing alcohol together. Don't put bleach and vinegar together. Basically, bleach with anything, bleach and ammonia. So bleach with ammonia, vinegar, or rubbing alcohol is bad.
Okay.
Okay?
Learning.
Yes. Well, if you got a small business, you know that you are definitely concerned in these times right now, very uncertain, and you felt like, okay, the government is going to bail us out and help us here with this $349 billion program that they've got. And then all of a sudden the money starts going quickly, and then you find out, wait a minute, some businesses that you don't think count as small businesses are getting some money.
Millions.
Yes.
And then if you're a struggling small business owner, maybe you have 10, 20 employees that you've been paying, you get nothing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, I saw some people on social media. They were railing. They were very upset.
I know.
Some of these larger businesses that did get them. And some of the restaurants that were on the list had included Shake Shack, They wound up getting some money. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse got some, and that's I saw a lot of posts about that.
Can we talk about their potatoes? Their side potatoes. Sorry, y'all, but they're amazing.
Jay Alexander's, Potbelly, some of the places, and now maybe the heat got turned up, and Shake Shack is going to be returning the $10 million loan it received from the federal program aiming to help small businesses. And to me, I just wondered, my question, because my wife had brought this up to me, we were talking about it over the weekend. I was like, well, who's responsible for policing this? I mean, didn't they have guidelines on what qualifies as a small business? And wasn't there somebody out there saying, hey, look, that should not count as a small business? It should be, mom and pop type places that are not massive chains that have over 10 restaurants or whatever it might be.
And apparently, depending on which bank you went to, you got different answers from different people.
Yeah.
And some of the banks didn't know what they were doing. And it's just chaos.
You said of a lot of people are hoping to get money, and they are legitimately small businesses with one store, and they got nothing, huh?
Yeah, 8 different people that were all talking amongst each other and I didn't get anything. And if you want to get in on it, you have to reapply if there's more money available at a later time. It's crazy when you think about, okay, big, huge corporations got millions, but actual small businesses that actually need it didn't get anything. That's the opposite of what should have happened.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if...
It sounds real shady.
There won't be other places that will follow Shake Shack's lead that I just mentioned, because they may say, hey, look, yeah, though we could use money right now, and this is tough for us, the hit that we're taking on social media, because this is a news story and our name is listed in, larger companies that took the small business loan, that... it might be best ultimately for us to make a big public gesture to give that money back.
If you have 60 locations, you're not a small business.
Mm-hmm. When does it shut down? If let's say you owned 3 restaurants, if I opened up, Pennington's Hoagies, if I had 3, would I still be considered small business?
I think 3 is still considered small business.
Well, that should have been stated. It should have been here's how many. It
should have been stated.
Or it should have been your profits and loss typically, or whatever you submit in the paper, and it should have clearly defined, and it should have been that feels like a small business. And then we're going to start with the small guys, keep them going, and then, hey, you bigger guys, you'll be all right. We have more faith that you'll be able to weather this storm than some of the smaller ones. That's how it should have been set up, and I think that's why people are going, wait, who did this?
Who did this and why?
Who did this?
Who am I even mad at? I don't even know who to be mad at.
Yeah.
Who are we supposed to be yelling at? Whose fault is this?
I don't know.
So much confusion.
Just go on social media and just start yelling at somebody. That's what everyone else does.
Yep, that's what you do. No, just talking about all the chaos that is kind of going on every day. It's just, you got to adjust and pivot and be flexible, because you never know what they're going to throw at us next. One of the stories that had come out that I know caused a lot of emotions. Things are very tense, especially for small businesses, because there's a lot of concern, and we don't know what's going to happen. But the loan that they had out there for small businesses, that went away very fast, like $385 billion. Somebody texted in to clarify. A couple people said it was stated that businesses under 500 employees is considered a small business. So these companies that took it, your Shake Shacks and your Ruth's Chris and whatever that people were upset with, they are under 500 employees. So technically they qualify.
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse is under 500 employees.
I don't know, Virginia.
Virginia, just by her tone, Kevin, I don't think she agrees with you.
I don't know.
Is Ruth Chris still around here?
Yeah. There's 2 locations just in this town.
Yeah, I know.
There's one in North Palm and there's one in City Place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think between those 2 restaurants, they probably have at least 100 and something employees.
One text said on the news, they mentioned the reason that the big corporations got money is because the banks collect more in fees on those, so it's more advantageous to loan to big companies than little ones. And Armando said, I work at a lobbying firm in D.C. I could give you guys the dirt.
Yes. Tell us, Armando.
What's really going on?
Tell us so we can help real small business owners figure out how to play the game, because obviously there's some game and they didn't even get the rules before the game started.
Yeah.
And legitimate small business owners that are still paying their employees and have less than 20 or around 20 employees. That's just, it's insane to think that they're not getting any help, but the big fish are.
Yeah, tell us, Armando, if that's your real name.
Right?
That's the secret.
Mm-hmm. Well, one local South Florida restaurant's got a really nice story, getting some good attention on it, too, is Coconuts in Fort Lauderdale. You know, with everything kind of shut down, they're redoing some things, and they're replacing that wooden patio deck that they got there at Coconuts.
Now's a great time to do the improvement projects.
Mm-hmm. And they wound up finding a wedding ring that had fallen through the wooden deck boards there. And the couple from New York 3 years ago who lost it thought it was gone forever. The manager also found a gold coin, $100 bills, and a silver wedding ring with the inscription Mike and Lisa 8/21/15. And the person who does marketing for Coconuts thought it was a long shot, but decided to post a picture of the ring on Facebook. The post got shared 5,000 times. Got back to Mike and Lisa, and 3 days later, they claimed the ring.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I bet that stuff happens a lot. I've lost stuff in restaurants before, and you try to look, you try to find it, it just goes into the abyss.
The wooden deck is the worst. It is the worst.
There was a Pizza Hut off of North Lake Boulevard back in the day in the Lake Park area, and I lost a brand new 1980 Darth Vader figure underneath the seat. And I remember going back there years trying to find that thing, and the seat swallowed it up.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I had that buddy long time ago lost, I think it was an engagement ring at E.R. Bradley's. Because, you know, they had the wood decks there.
They ever find it?
I can't remember.
I'd be pulling up the wood panels. I'd say, look, guys, I'm going to pay to repair whatever damage I do, but I am pulling up this wood.
I think they did get it. I think Bradley's went fishing under their farm and got it.
That's awesome.
But there's some things you drop, you'll never get it. I mean, I've dropped stuff in the drain, you know, walking where the alligators live, accidentally falling there.
Yeah.
And gone. You ain't going to get that back. I've dropped keys in there before.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
They say that coin they found, nobody's claimed that. It's from 1855 and could be worth as much as $2,000.
Wow. That'll pay for the new deck.
Right. How about that? So there you go. I guess Coconuts just got their small business loan right there. All right, the After the Show podcast is just 5 minutes away. Going to be coming up live on Facebook and also on YouTube. You can check it out. Jaybird, before we get to that, as we wrap up the new extended KVJ show, leave us with your thoughts.
Yes, inspire us on 420.
Oh, yeah, this one's from Mr. Miyagi. I should have done a 421. I really blew it.
You kind of blew it.
You're going to hate this one, too.
All right, way to sell it. Can't wait.
Oh, man, I did blow it. Walk on road, Walk left side, safe. Walk right side, safe. Walk middle, sooner or later, get squished just like grape.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't like it.
You try to keep going and make it sound better. And so you just cut your...
No, it makes sense.
Rambling.
No, I'm rambling, but it makes sense.
The best variety from the 2000s, 10s, and today, and you're home for the KVJ show.